Welcome back, people, to Sorta Sophisticated, the podcast where we make you feel smarter and cooler at parties by knowing stuff that nobody else ever talks about, like ever. So I don't know if that's cooler or like not cool, but whatever. We love it. I'm Pete, back on the mic. And as always, I have Amanda here locking it in for another episode.
I mean, Pete, come on now. You really got to stop selling us short because I know I personally use this all the time. And I think people are starting to think that I'm interesting.
You've always been interesting. What are you talking about?
Well, but like maybe more relevant.
I like that.
Relevant.
Totally. Right?
Like even just this last time with the millennial episode, just having midlife crises. I kid you not.
Crisai. TM. You TM'd that one, by the way.
Two of my friends, they were like, I don't know. I'm turning 38 and I feel like my life is over.
Oh my God, you gave them like
midlife crisis supposed to be happening later? Why is it happening now? And I used shit from our last episode.
God,
it was great.
You were a therapist.
Great. I was ready.
That is awesome. Okay, you have like a really good point because I have to admit I used our New Year's resolution episode. It's like totally took it to heart, and I'm still cooking over here on all my resolutions. Like
Aww.
I have not given up on one of them yet. So
love that.
super proud of myself.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, since we are using so much of what we're putting out there, can I introduce the next super fascinating episode that we have?
Go for it.
So today we're diving into a celebration so wild and so colorful and so over the top that even P. Diddy might feel out of place. Okay, not really. But
He doesn't feel out of place anywhere.
It's Rio de Janeiro's Carnival.
Oh my God. I have been waiting for this episode, Amanda, since I saw it on the calendar. It reminds me of the one we did on Oktoberfest. By the way, my favorite one. I loved it. Give me anything with a party, and I'm totally in. A little samba and some scantily clad people partying it up all night. Sign me up, please.
I totally figured it would be right up your alley.
Right? I know.
But before we get all into it and everything, we got to stick with our own little tradition. We need our word of the day first, please.
Tradition. Fiddler on the Roof. Tradition. Okay. You ready? Word of the day is gourmand.
Gourmand?
Gourmand.
Like to gorge?
This is so funny because basically, yes.
But I guess gourmand wouldn't be the same spelling as
but,
gorge.
Okay,
but
not at all. But listen, you're first of all, this is hysterical because you always make up a word after I say the word. And half the time you're right, and half the time you're so far off, it's not even funny.
Okay, but it's not fair because all of our words are derived from Latin.
Okay.
So at
that is
some
true.
point, if you do word alliteration, word association.
Everything is going to be Latin or Greek. Everything. Okay, so gourmand, are you ready? It's a person who likes to eat and drink. So someone who likes to gorge. Why not? Like, I'm such a gourmand when I go to Costco and walk around and get all the samples and don't actually buy anything because I'm just hungry.
I mean,
right?
You are gourmand all the time. But also,
I'm only gourmand here because I don't eat lunch or dinner, and then I just binge on all the food in the studio. Okay.
Let's just be real.
Leave me alone.
You like to hear yourself mukbang?
I'm a total mukbanger, right?
But also, is this where the word gourmet came from?
I believe it did. Yes, absolutely. These are all
the gore. So
you're
the
right.
gore is
it's
the eating.
The gore.
So
gore.
Eating well.
Eating well. Eating a lot. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I have an idea. Can I shoot something out there?
Yeah.
I think we should start keeping score. Like, whoever gets the word like in the fastest, like I know we have to put the word in there somewhere. You got to get it first in the episode, and then we keep score. And at the end of the year, we count it up, and like we like win something. Like let's put up like $1 in a pot every week, and at the end of the year, we win $50.
Okay.
Like, whoever gets more.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it's totally fine because I'm totally winning.
Are we sure of this? I don't know. Should we go back and check? Because I think we're like 50-50 right now. I don't think you're winning. Either way, can we just get to the topic, please?
I already introduced the topic.
I know, but like I want to start talking.
Okay, go.
Okay, so Rio de Janeiro's a carnival, right? Where there's like dancing and drinking and like food for days, right? A total gourmand's dream.
You're such a jerk.
Right? I just nailed it. I just won. What do you want me to say?
I can't.
That's the whole reason
You're
that's the whole reason I just had
cheater.
to. I know.
You set up the game.
I did.
Just so you can win.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Okay, fine.
So guess what?
What?
We're on episode 42. I have 22, and you now have 20. There you go. I'm winning.
Fine. Well played.
Let's go. All right. So Carnival in Rio is huge. It's huge, people. It's the biggest thing ever. Oh, I can say that now because he's president again. It's huge. Amanda, it is quite literally the party of all parties. Like rivals Oktoberfest, okay? But it didn't start with like sequins and samba like everybody thinks. It actually goes all the way back to the Portuguese colonists, like 500 years ago. So it all starts around 1500 when this guy named Pedro Alvarez Cabral lands in Brazil during a voyage to India. And he's like, shit, we got to claim this for Portugal. Because you got to remember, 1492, Columbus sails the ocean blue, starts claiming stuff for Spain, right? Finds America, the whole thing. And then Cabral's like, yeah, fuck this shit. So he goes down to Brazil and he's like totally claiming this for Portugal. So let's go, Pedro Cabral. Okay, so at first, like they're down there and they're figuring out like all the natural resources and stuff. And they start trading Brazil wood because it had this really cool red dye that everybody wanted. And they realized they were onto something. And then
Wait, hold on.
What?
Is that how it got its name?
That's absolutely how it got his name. Totally. Yes, that was my whole point. Yes, right? Brazil wood. Brazil. Okay, I love this. Okay, so then in the 1600s, they find diamond and gold in the hills. And this whole new wave of trade started. They start digging and mining and panning and extracting and all the verbs that go with like diamonds and gold when you're trying to like get them out of the mountains. And finally, somewhere during the 1700s, when they're all tired of digging, because I mean, that's a lot of digging, right? They're sitting outside taking in this beautiful weather and they realize, shit, with this climate and soil, we got to start planting some sugarcane. So all these plantations start popping up everywhere. And that sort of like sealed the deal. Brazil was officially awesome. And it was all Portugal's.
That's a nice little history lesson.
Thank you very much.
Though that has nothing to do with Carnival.
Okay. Amanda, you know me. I like to give a little history.
I mean, I do. I guess. I know.
Right, okay,
I know. And it is very interesting.
Right. Like we're going back. We're explaining like it goes from Brazil wood to diamond mining, gold mining, then sugar cane. Like yeah, it's coming to life. I'm getting there. I'll go faster.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you finesse this one then? Wrap it up in a bow.
Okay. You're so mean to me sometimes. Okay. So basically after they realize how awesome Brazil is, right? Like a bunch of Portuguese colonists show up and are like, okay, we need to bring all of our traditions along with us. And one of those particularly chaotic traditions that stuck that they decided to bring was called Entrudo.
What is Entrudo?
Entrudo. It's like basically a giant street fight disguised as some sort of like festival, I guess.
Oh, is this why it was chaotic?
Yes, totally chaotic. People would literally just run around. I can't believe this. When I chat GPT this, they would just like throw water and mud and even food at each other. Like that was it. Buckets of like flour, oranges, whatever they could get their hands on.
So like they were fighting, like
but
actually
like
fighting,
but in a fun, like in a fun way. It was less
like
party.
Food fight.
Yes, like
Okay.
civilized chaos. Yes, that's exactly sort of what was going on. It was very strange. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, where did it come from? Like, how did it originate? And I guess, because in my brain, you don't just start throwing all this stuff at each other without a reason, unless you're like in the high school, cafeteria and,
First of
food
all,
fight.
You do if you're Portuguese. That's absolutely what
I
you
am
do.
Portuguese.
You just throw oh my God.
And clearly,
Oh, my
asterisk,
Lord, fine.
this is one part of
Okay.
like my cultural identity that I don't know
Okay.
much of.
All right, so I
And
had to
also, I'm not Brazilian
Here
Portuguese.
we're going to learn
so-
stuff right now. Here we go. Are you ready?
Okay.
I had to look it all up. But apparently, Entrudo was like a party that was traditionally held in the days leading up to Ash Wednesday. And just to get sort of sophisticated here, that's the start of Lent in the Christian calendar because everything revolves around Christianity, don't forget. The idea was that it was supposed to be a time for indulgence and partying before fasting and the penance of Lent. You with me so far?
I am so far.
Okay,
so
yeah.
it's kind of like New Orleans and the whole Fat Tuesday thing.
Oh my God, exactly. Same. Yes.
But wait, do they actually throw food at each other, or was that just another level 7 lie?
Here we go again with the level 7 lies. They totally threw food at each other. Like, so here's where, like, let me get down to brass tacks. The whole concept of Entrudo was for the commoners, right? They loved it. It was like their chance to let loose a little and sort of give the old like FU to the whole structure of colonial society. But as you can imagine, all the rich people, or I guess like the landowners or like governors, or what did you call people in charge back then?
The aristocracy?
Yeah, that one. Thank you. Good call. They weren't super happy and eventually tried to ban it. Spoiler alert, it didn't work.
Wait, hold on. Why did they want to ban it?
Yeah, so because it was a threat to order. So like the whole social order. So go back to your like, why did they start food fights and throwing mud? Poor people had an outlet for a few days before Lent to like sort of give the proverbial FU to like the people in charge of the colonies. And they could get away with it in a way that was fun but chaotic. So it was kind of a cool little like way of not keeping the commoners down, right? So yeah, but like the whole idea is that you can't keep the commoners down, because as soon as someone says you can't do something, then you want to do something, right?
I mean, I guess you want to do it more, actually.
You absolutely want to do it more. And so like by the 1800s, they start negotiating.
They wait, whoa. Stop throwing food at us and we'll just keep partying? What?
That's exactly it. Yes. So
What?
yes. So like the rich people were like, stop throwing food, but we'll let you keep
The
partying.
aristocrats were like, stop throwing food.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Thank you.
Okay.
So they wanted like a more refined version of this festival, right? So they started pushing the whole European style. Like, you remember the masquerade balls, like in Europe, that whole concept? That's like Venetian masks, fancy gowns, a bunch of waltzing around. Like, that's what the rich people wanted, right? And the poor people were like, okay, well, we'll do less Intrudo and like more of that.
So they wanted to class it up.
Absolutely.
And make it boring from its original roots.
Oh my God, totally. Right. They were because they were control freaks, right? It was way more chill than the original Carnival, like, and like also today's, but they weren't doing it together or anything. Like the rich people were having their masquerade balls and the poor people were still out in the streets partying it up, but they just weren't bothering each other anymore. So the poor people were just having fun in their own way. The rich people found a way to have fun and they were like, okay, we're coexisting. So yeah.
All right. So they were like, live and let live, I guess.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. This is making sense. Right. Then over time, the poor people broke them down because, I mean, let's be honest, their party was better. And they started blending them together. So by the late 1800s, Carnival was evolving into this huge citywide celebration that was at least, oh my God, Amanda, a little more sophisticated, shall we say? Because everybody stopped throwing food. And that's when all the street bands called Blocos started popping up everywhere.
Okay. So is that when the Samba entered the scene? Because that's the Carnival vibe that I know.
Right? Good question. I had to look that one up too because I don't know all this crap. Not quite yet. So it took about another 30 years before Samba started taking over, like early 20th century. So not too long, but there was still some like time in between for sure. So Samba, if you don't know, because I didn't, was born out of the Afro-Brazilian communities right there in Rio de Janeiro. It was a blend of African rhythms, Portuguese tradition, and indigenous influences. And by the 1920s, samba schools called escolas de samba started popping up all over the different neighborhoods in Rio. Like it was this super cool blend.
Okay, but you got to like make all my dreams come true right now.
What?
Tell me that this is where the epic parades come in.
Absolutely. Bingo. Nailed it. Yes. So the first quote unquote official samba school parade happened in
so good.
1932. And it was organized by some journalist named Mario Filo. I don't know if I said that right. I butchered it. Who was actually just trying to create a competition between samba schools. So naturally, since it was a competition, it turned into a full-blown war because that's what we do. With each school coming up with all these elaborate float ideas, crazy costumes, and of course, had to have their own samba songs.
So you're basically telling me that they riffed the ideas from the Rose Parade?
Sort of. Because this was really more about music. And the Rose Parade was really all about floats, right?
Okay.
And weather and that whole thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fair. So was it kind of like dueling pianos, but like with samba?
Yeah. Like
Samba
totally.
duels?
Yeah. So, yes. By the way, dueling pianos, we have to go. Like I haven't gone in
love
forever.
dueling
Right. We have to
so
do that.
good.
We gotta
But
do
was it actually? Is that
Well,
kind of like the vibe that it was?
that was kind of the vibe. Like where am I? I don't remember the sort of time frame. Give me
like 1950s?
Okay. All right. Yeah. Back to the 1950s. Okay. So around like the 1950s, thank God for the invention of the television, right? Carnival started attracting.
The television just made everything explode.
Yes. Made Elvis, made apparently sambas in Carnival.
The Rose Parade.
Yes, let's go. So that goes on for a while till like 1984 when Rio goes all out and builds this massive stadium specifically designed to showcase Carnival. And they call it the Samba Drome.
The Samba Drome? That sounds kind of intense.
Oh my God, it was. Okay.
And dramatic.
Right. The Samba Drome.
The word from last week.
There's a lot of histrionics in the Samba Drome. Let's be honest. There is. Okay. So picture this. It was like this runway, like 7 or 8 football fields long. You know how long a football field is? Are you with me?
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't know how long a football field is.
Okay, 120 yards, right?
Oh,
100
okay.
yards and then 10 yards, touchdown, 10 yards. So imagine a football stadium.
120 yards, which you times it by 3 feet in a yard, so it's 360 feet long.
No. Bear with me. 7 or 8 football fields long. Imagine 7 or 8
times.
stadiums stacked
So
in a row.
360 feet times 7 or 8.
Yeah, I don't know why you're interested in feet so much, but yes.
Because that
correct.
equivalents to like one shoe. Of
Okay,
mine.
fine,
So,
whatever
That's
works.
a lot.
So, right, it's huge, right? Packed with people. All these kick-ass Samba schools parading down the middle like they're totally the shit. It's like the Super Bowl of Carnival, except with like feathers and like way more sparkles.
Okay, it's kind of like the Rose Bowl because you have all of these bands going through.
7 times bigger. Like it is like you have to think of like the Kentucky Derby. Like, do you know how big that race course is? Okay, listen. It was designed by this famous Brazilian architect named Oscar Niemeyer. And basically this 700-meter like open air runway flanked by grandstands that can hold over 90,000 spectators. And each Samba school parades down what's called the Passarela with all these huge floats, elaborate costumes, shaking their hips like Shakira. Because my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to say, and all they're trying to do is win the championship trophy, man.
Wait, is there a real trophy or are you just lying again?
No, there's actually like totally a real trophy. And they win something called the Carnival Champion. It's like a real thing.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell with you sometimes.
Okay, first of all, I love
What
keeping
is what is that game? It's like fact or fiction.
That's totally me. I love that, right? Look, I'm never going to outright lie to you, okay? I'd have like zero credibility on this podcast. If I make a joke or I say some shit that's unsupported, I'll let you know. I promise. Like I'll fix it sort of further on down the right.
Deal.
But
deal.
otherwise, I'm telling the truth.
Okay.
So like,
Okay.
okay.
I mean, just sometimes you stretch the truth, so I was
I
just checking.
okay. First of all, this is the whole
Embellish.
It's the whole premise of our podcast. That's why we put the word sort of in front of sophisticated. Okay. Can I get back on track?
Yes.
Okay.
Go.
So I got to get real for a second. I know I've been saying Carnival is like this huge party, like this whole education cast. Shout out to Education Cast TM. Thank you. But really, I'm not doing it justice. So it's way more than a party. And I'm like, we cannot marginalize this at all. Okay? Marginalize? Did I minimize or marginalize? Minimize?
All the above.
Okay, whatever. I'm not minimizing. You have to realize like how deeply rooted Carnival is to Brazil's history and culture, like Portuguese, Brazil, the whole thing. It all started as a celebration of freedom. Remember, go all the way back to Entrudo, right? And resilience. And from the outside, it might look like this massive, like half-naked drunk fest. But in reality, it's like sacred. It's like sacred. Like no bullshit. 500 years of tradition in Brazil. And if you go all the way back to Portugal, it's another 200 or 300 years before that. Like it means stuff, like big stuff.
I mean, I definitely believe that, but just because that's how you identify, right? Your
Right.
culture and
Right.
what you're brought up with.
Yeah.
And the
So
traditions
now
you
we
pass
all
down.
like Americans go over there, or people go over there, like, oh, it's a party, but like, oh, dude, it's big.
Right.
Like sacred.
You need to be like show some cultural respect.
Yes.
Right? And if only we had something like that here in America, then maybe we would understand a little bit more. But
right. Yeah.
I guess we kind of do, like Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
But that's only like 250 years. So.
Well, because we're so young.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know.
We just like after like, I don't know, 500 more years, like Mardi Gras will be like, if people are respectful and like understand the roots of Mardi Gras, then it matters. Like
that's true.
Otherwise, if you're just showing your tits and throwing the beads, then it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Fair. But wait, I want to talk about something else because you're making it sound like Carnival centers around this whole samba drum thing, but really that's only a part of it. Not everything happens on the passarela, like you say. The real party happens out on the streets of Rio. Because, I mean, who are we kidding? Not everyone can afford a ticket to the samba drum.
Oh, my
Kind of
God.
like
Right.
the Super Bowl, right?
Totally. For sure. Right. People stand outside or people watch in other stadiums. Yeah, totally right. The samba drum is just one part of it. Sorry. I was only being sort of sophisticated. Dude, do me a favor. Take us through the streets. Amanda, take us through the streets.
Yeah, because that's where the party's at. So Carnival street parties, they're better known, as you said, Blocos, where the people's carnival really starts. It's all sweat and chaos and somewhere between dangerous and fun. It's kind of like if we decided to have a giant block party on the 4th of July, but then we never stopped. And just to clear things up and to be a little sophisticated here, Blocos actually refers to two things in Portuguese. The themed street parades that we're talking about are called Blocos, but you also call the street bands in each group Blocos also, because they're like the core of the whole street party in the first place. So don't freak out or anything. You just need to get used to the fact that it can mean both things. So either the band or the bigger street party that is surrounding the band. And there are literally thousands of them across Brazil during Carnival season. And each one has its own vibe, like if you can imagine that. And some are massive and they literally attract millions of people. And then other ones are kind of more intimate hangouts and they're only invite only. Well, I mean, only as intimate as it can get when someone's banging a drum in your ear, but you kind of get the idea.
Yeah, okay. So when I was researching this like whole episode, this was my favorite part, totally. There's literally a bloco for everyone. They have like traditional samba, of course, but they also have one I looked up for 80s pop or for like Shakira songs. I even chat GPT'd it, and they have some for country music or for Bruno Mars. Like anything you can think of, they have a bloco for. It is totally nuts.
Right. But it's also what's crazy is that it's not just about music either. It's about the costumes, the community, and honestly, the wild creativity that kind of flows from them. People spend weeks, even months, planning out all their outfits. And glitter is totally mandatory, by the way, so Trent would just have a conniption over it. But everyone will be sparkling by the end of the day, whether you like it or not.
Oh, true.
It just
totally
kind of
true.
happens.
Because what attracts sparkles better than sweat? Oh my God, it just sticks to you. It's gross.
Sticky.
Kill
In
me.
every
Okay.
crevice.
One of the best, every crevice, the crevasse. One of the best things about the blocos, Amanda, they're free. No ticket necessary. Like you said, no VIP shit. You just show up and all of a sudden you're part of this massive, awesome crowd dancing through the streets. It is the ultimate.
Right, unless you're not invited, but
Well,
only some of them. Only
right,
some of them.
right. There's, come on, right. You're invited to like basically all of them except a few.
I mean, the best part of all of it, I
What?
think, is that it doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor, or if you're a local or you're a tourist. Like, everyone's welcome, right? Carnival is in the streets, and it's the ultimate leveler of all of our like social idiocracies.
Right.
Unless you hate crowds or are claustrophobic, then maybe you should stay home.
Oh my God. So then I'm staying home. Is that what you're telling
Yeah,
me?
I know you like being in all of it.
So you got to remember what this goes all
It's
the
like
way
the
back.
pulse, right? You
Right.
have to be like
Yes.
in it.
Yes, that is it. Absolutely. That's where the culture comes from. Okay. But wait, you were just talking about costumes, and so it made me think. I did like no research on costumes. So I have a question. How did it go from like the masquerade stuff that we were talking about like in the 1800s to like almost no costume, if I may say, or like almost naked bodies today? Like,
I mean,
fill in
everything's
some blanks
almost
here.
naked bodies today, right? So
What?
I said almost everything's almost
Oh,
naked
yeah,
bodies
okay, but like
today,
I'm trying to be culturally sensitive here. I don't want to say something in a pro, but like I mean,
and of course, you're going to be attracted to those ones.
you there's no question.
So,
Yes.
But, asterisk, not everyone dresses like that. And the costumes are amazing, but you only focus on what you want to focus on.
I'm a terrible
and
person. I'm
sometimes
doing the best I can.
Naked bodies is
Yes.
what you want to
Okay.
see. So,
Sorry. Leave me alone.
Okay, well, the scoop is...
I'm going through some stuff. One of my New Year's resolutions is to look at more naked bodies. Okay, go.
I really wonder what your children think when they listen to this podcast. Like, really.
They don't listen. In 30 years, they'll listen and be like, my dad was an a-hole. What do you want me to say? Oh, my God.
Okay, well...
Just give me the scoop, dude. Okay? Tell me what's going on with this masquerade stuff to half naked.
Okay, so like as you said, right, it all starts with the whole masquerade ball idea, which was, of course, influenced by the Portuguese colonist. But over time, the Afro-Brazilian culture started assimilating into this, right? And when that happened, the costumes started reflecting the themes of Brazilian history, their folklore and mythology, and they started using them to tell a story, and it kind of all became part of the spectacle. And if you must know, the whole idea behind the minimalist costumes for some participants...
Oh, I love that. Did you really just say minimalist costumes?
I did.
Oh, my God. Okay.
It's
You're so, like, culturally appropriate.
Well, because it is. It's
What?
based from Brazilian culture. So Brazil embraces sensuality and beauty as part of its identity, and the samba emphasizes fluidity, right?
Yeah.
So sensual movements that are better expressed with less restrictive clothing. So that's why some people are dressed a little differently than others, depending on what they're trying to express. Comprende?
Yes, and I'm buying myself a ticket to Brazil, a one-way ticket, and I'm never coming back.
Okay, well,
you.
when you're down there,
Right.
you got to eat some good food, though,
I'm going to.
because like the food is outstanding.
Oh, my God, you're such a gourmand. Relax.
Oh!
That's two. Yes.
Well played.
Okay,
Well played.
but, dude, what do I have to, like, eat? What do I absolutely have to eat if I go down there?
Well, you got to start with the coxinha, this crispy golden teardrop shaped thingy. Like, that's the best way to describe it, I guess. But it's like shredded chicken wrapped in dough and fried to perfection. It's Brazil's like ultimate comfort food, and it's totally delicious. Then try the feijoada. This is like black bean and pork stew that is perfect after all that samba dancing. It's like nice and warm and get in your belly.
Nice and warm and cozy.
Yes. And if you're in the mood for a beer, or what they call in Brazil, cervezinha, then you got to make sure you get some pão de queijo. They're like these little cheesy bites, all crispy on the outside and gooey in the middle. It's nothing like we have in America. It's kind of like our version of beer and pretzels, which also isn't really American, but whatever. Side note.
Right, we stole it from the Germans. Oh, that was awesome.
But they're 1,000 times better than that. Like, trust me, you got to try it. Hold on. But probably the most iconic street food at Carnival would be something called churrasquinho. They are these grilled skewers of meat sprinkled with super coarse salt, and then they're served alongside something called pão chayo, aka garlic bread. They're on every street corner, and everyone loves them, and it smells so good, and you just have to have it.
I've had them. I love them.
There you go. You already know.
So they have this in America. Like, you can find them in America. I had it in Brazil when I was like, I don't remember, like 15 or whatever. But now I found like there's certain Brazilian restaurants that have it. Amanda, it's heaven on earth.
Did you have it at the Brazilian barbecue place?
Yes. It's the best.
Delicious.
It is absolutely the best ever. Okay.
Well, okay then. So since we've already covered out all our bases of like appetizers and main course, then you got dessert. And if you could try only one thing, it would have to be the brigadeiro. It's this fudgy, chocolatey truffle thing that's rolled in sprinkles, because life is better with sprinkles, and kind of symbolizes all that glitter.
Hey, you know what? You're such a gourmand. Oh my God!
This guy.
You are dead. I'm killing you.
This guy.
Okay.
You said the first time. It's only $1.
Okay.
Anyways,
okay.
So it's made with condensed milk, right? Cocoa powder, butter, and it's rolled in chocolate sprinkles, or what us Americans or other people would call jimmies, maybe.
Jimmies.
But it's totally simple, and it's over the top, and it's satisfying. And trust me, you can find it anywhere during Carnival.
Okay, so like I'm having some churrasquinho. I absolutely am going to have some brigadeiro, but like, what is the drink of choice? I know we talked about the whole cervejinha, like the whole beer thing, but like, is there another drink, or like, is that it?
Well, there is one other drink.
There's one other drink. Give me the name. Give me the name of the drink. I have to try.
So it's called caipirinha, and it's awesome. So it's made with only 3 ingredients: cachaça, which is a sugarcane-based spirit in Brazil. I can have it. Not allergic to it.
Nice.
Lime juice and sugar. So it's super refreshing. Before being topped with the cachaça, and then add ice. And it's now the perfect balance of tart, sweet, and seriously boozy. Kind of like a margarita, but not really.
Oh my God, I have an idea.
You always have a good idea.
Right? I know. I'm going to make them, and I will bring them when we record our next episode.
Don't play. You better bring them.
I'm going to. I just got to find me some cachaça. I'm on it. Okay.
I'm sure Bevmo has it.
Let's go. Right. Well, I'm going to look up where to find cachaça in America. Okay. Why don't you run through the tips before you go, or like some Carnival etiquette, so our listeners can like be prepped for this once in a lifetime party and cultural phenomenon.
Fair. So I'll start with the tips, and then I'll move to etiquette, because I feel like tips are more interesting.
Fine. Let's go. Whatever works.
So you got to plan your hotel.
I found cachaça. You were right.
Yeah. Bevmo.
It's at Bevmo.
Told you.
My bad, yo. Okay, go.
Bevmo has everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So first you got to plan your hotel, Airbnb, but you better start early, because things fill up fast. So you got to book in advance. You can't be like us and just like go out on a whim and pretend like it's going to work out.
This isn't a national park, people, right?
No,
this is Syria.
It's not.
Yeah.
But even then, national parks are
kind
of hard when it's in the summer.
I literally was just thinking that.
I mean.
Oh my God, that's hysterical. Okay, fine. But like, where do we need to stay? Like, do you know, like, is there a place? Like, where does this go on?
Yeah, you probably definitely want to stay near Copacabana or Ipanema. Like, pack light, bring comfy clothes, sneakers. You're going to be walking a lot. Obviously, sunscreen, a reusable water bottle, and a small little bag for like cash and ID and other essentials that you can like wear on your body. But dress festive. The more festive you dress, the more you'll fit in, and you really can't go wrong. And if you really want to like be up and up, learn some Portuguese basic phrases like quanto cuesta, how much, and onde fica, where is. It will definitely help you when you're in a pinch. Okay, so as far as etiquette goes, it's all the basic stuff, really. Like, we've kind of already been over this, but don't be an asshole. Follow the vibe. Don't push through the crowds. Be polite. Don't get smashed. Pace yourself. You don't want to get too trashed. One thing to note is that if you want to take pictures of the samba dancers, just ask before taking pictures. They will say yes, but you need to be respectful about it.
Yeah, because otherwise you're like total like a perv, probably.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, They're not Vegas showgirls.
Yeah, I know. Because it's the whole cultural thing that people don't understand. Yes, I'm with you.
And sort of last but not least, as far as like safety and tourism goes, like stick to well-lit areas. Stay in your group. Avoid flashing cash here, just waving it about.
Oh, I love to flash my cash.
I mean, some people do,
Right, that's how
Stay
I roll.
hydrated. And if you're outside for hours, you're probably drinking and you're dancing, and so many people forget to just hydrate. It's super important, or you're going to like end up passing out and in some sort of medical facility.
And probably dying.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think we're ready to go.
Okay.
Okay, do me a favor.
What?
Look up, because I don't have this as my fun fact. Look up how many people, dehydrate, like, during Carnival. Like ChatGPT, like, annually, how many people, like, get dehydrated or go to the hospital or whatever. You know what I mean? I want to throw that in my fun fact section.
Okay, I'll look it up. So go ahead. Start with your fun facts then.
All right, here we go. Okay, did you know that Samba schools competing at the Samba Drome can spend, Amanda, $2 million on floats, costumes, and music for their performances? $2 million for the performance. Get this. They fundraise it all year. Like, some of that cash even comes from corporate sponsors, which I, by the way, I totally understand, like, because we do the same thing with Rose Parade, like Disney or like whatever. But like, imagine explaining to your boss that your marketing budget this year is going to go towards like a giant glitter covered float with like a 20-foot parrot on it. Like, I don't think you're going to have your job for very long. I don't know how this works, but like, I don't want to be that marketing person. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Fair.
Okay. Fun fact two. Speaking of Samba schools, did you know that each school's parade tells a story? They don't just throw random costumes and floats together. They're actually presenting a cohesive narrative. Themes can range from Brazilian history to political commentary to just last year, one Samba school celebrated the cashew fruit. They explored its history, legends, and its place in Brazilian culture. So really the theme could be about anything. I think it's totally wild. Like, who wouldn't want to watch a Samba dance about cashew fruits? So number 3. So each year there's a very special mythical creature who kicks off Rio's Carnival, and his name is King Momo. Have you heard of King Momo?
I don't know, but I have a dog named Momo.
Let's
go.
go.
I like this already.
Okay, this is great. Okay, so is he a boy?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. So King Momo derives from Greek mythology and is associated with mockery and satire, 2 aspects, of course, of every carnival. Each year, King Momo is played by a well-known celebrity, like usually with a large physical stature. Like, think of like The Rock, right? Like Dwayne Johnson. And the party doesn't start until the mayor of Rio de Janeiro hands the key to the city over to King Momo during a grand ceremony. This act is a symbolic gesture that signifies that the city is now in the hands of fun, joy, and celebration. Maybe even a little debauchery, shall I say?
I love it.
Yes, it's essentially a passing of the torch to the Carnival spirit. And once King Momo receives the key, he declares Carnival officially open. And it's all downhill from there.
Or the most amazing time.
Yeah, let's go. Oh my God. Okay. Number 4. If the Carnival has a king, it's got to have a queen. Am I right?
It better.
Okay, yeah, right. Okay, so each year, a Carnival Queen is selected. The Queen is recognized for her beauty and, most importantly, for her superior Samba dancing skills. So this one's a little bit different, Amanda, than the Rose Queen. Not going to lie. A large number of women compete for this role who ends up reigning over the wild parties. Women from all over the city, often with ties to Samba schools, apply and audition based on their Samba dancing skills, charisma, physical fitness, and stage presence. Before Carnival, the finalists perform at public events where they dance and interact with the audience. And then the judges crown a winner as the Reina do Carnival, which is officially the Carnival Queen, but really like the Samba Queen. And the 2 runner-ups are given the titles of Princesas do Carnival, or the Princesses of Carnival. Then, during Carnival, it's the Samba Queen's job to represent the festival spirit by opening the ceremony alongside King Momo, dancing at the Samba Drome during the parades, and appearing at various official Carnival events throughout the festival.
I love how they're all similar, but they're not the same.
No, right. This one's a little bit
different,
more
but
like
still
yeah.
the same.
Okay. Okay, and my last one. Did you know that Carnival attracts over 6 million people to Rio every year? Of those, Amanda, 2 million people are partying in the streets every single day that Carnival is going on. That is ridiculous. That is a shitload of sequin, samba, and street food. Let's be honest. That's a lot of churrasquinho.
Yes, and it's also a lot of dehydrated people because according to ChatGPT,
Yes.
it is 10% of people who attend Carnival get dehydrated.
Really? Like in the hospital, or like, or just like have an episode.
Probably just have an episode.
So what is 10%? 6 million. 600,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
600,000 people.
That's a lot of people.
Bring your water bottle, people. Listen to Amanda. She knows what she's talking about. Okay.
Okay. Well, I love all the random carnival facts and good fact finding as always. Now hand me a caipirinha and point me to the nearest bloco.
Seriously, right? Okay, but wait, before I do, we got to like bite size this into like little bits so our listeners can remember. So here we go. Are you ready?
Always.
Okay, so first, you got to remember the roots, people. Rio's Carnival has roots in Portuguese Entrudo, a pre-Lenten tradition brought by colonists in the 1700s, which evolved over time to include African and indigenous influences, giving birth to the Samba. Number 2, Carnival is more than just a party. It's deeply tied to Brazil's identity, blending religion with vibrant cultural expression. Number 3, the parades at the Samba Drome are the heart of Rio Carnival. Samba schools, think Broadway-level production teams, compete with elaborate floats, costumes, and samba performances, telling stories through their enredos, or themes. Number 4, Carnival officially starts when Rio's mayor hands over the city's symbolic key to King Momo, the jovial Lord of Misrule. He embodies the spirit of fun and opens the floodgates to celebration. Number 5, Carnival isn't just about the Samba Drome. There are over 500 blocos, or street parties, throughout the city, catering to every vibe, from family-friendly fun to all-out ragers. And a bonus tip, if someone brings up their love of costumes, casually mention how they're handmade and can cost thousands of dollars each. It's all about appreciating the craft, people.
Absolutely. And there you have it, dear listeners. The colorful, glittery, and absolutely electric world of Rio's Carnival. Just think the next time someone's raving about samba music or over-the-top parades, you'll have the perfect opening to say, actually, did you know that Carnival's roots trace back to Portuguese mud fights? And watch their face give you that weird look. Would you say? Look, Carnival is more than just a party with sequins and feathers. It's a living, breathing celebration of culture, resilience, and community. It's a reminder that sometimes the most vibrant stories come from the streets, from the people, and from the rhythms that unite them. If we've done our job today, you're leaving Sorta Sophisticated, maybe even armed with a fun fact or two about Carnival, and it's going to spice up your next conversation. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with your friends who love to samba their way through history. Until next time, remember, for every samba beat, there's a story waiting to be told. Stay festive and maybe stay a little glittery.